What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Figure It Out of the Basement's Black Series Talk Show. I'm Nate, joined with Justin.
What's up, guys?
And today it's time to continue our Black Series retrospective. This is our Figure It Out sub-series video series where we are discussing the entire history of the Black Series. So if you haven't seen, we've done all of the orange and blue line, and we did the very first wave of the red and black box. So Justin, here we are today, still in the dark ages.
Yep, doing the research for this episode, seeing the sheer amount of repacks that are in wave to wave, it's a little disheartening, but it's still interesting and important.
Right.
So there is quite a bit of time between these episodes just because we're still in the dark ages, for sure.
Yeah.
We're not going to be out of the dark ages for a while.
So before we jump into it, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe if you are new, because we're always talking about the Black Series here on the channel. Now, today we are going to be sort of breaking tradition, and we're actually going to be covering multiple waves, simply because, like you mentioned, the amount of repacks that are in each wave, which we are going to discuss, is just insane. And if we didn't, there'd be episodes of the retrospective where the waves would be,
two figures.
Yeah, two figures, literally. So
there's a wave here. We're doing waves 2, 3, and 4. And wave 4 is 2 new characters. So I was like, we're going to lump these together. And not only that, a lot of these figures are just kind of garbage.
Oh, yeah.
And a lot of these
terrible
figures you and I don't own anymore. You own some of these, I own some of these, but the majority we don't. However, we were indeed collecting during this time, so we do have the authority, in our opinions, to speak on this topic.
So we're still in 2015. The figures are still 1999. Let's jump in to Wave 2 of the Red and Black box, Justin. This is a banger wave here. We've got Captain Phasma, Poe Dameron, the Guavian Enforcer, Constable Zuvio, and a nice repack already of Finn and the First Order Stormtrooper.
Yep, so Finn and the Stormtrooper, they're in waves 1 and 2.
Great.
Yep.
Finn didn't sell the first time, so let's throw him in there again.
Yeah, keep in mind these were all released before the film. The Force Awakens came out in December of 2015, and these were out months before the movie came out, so I get it. From a marketing standpoint, but obviously in the long run, these ended up peg warming to crap and back.
Yeah.
So, whatever.
Yeah. Like we talked about before, Finn still haunts your local Walgreens, probably.
Yep. Kind of going through each figure real quick. Captain Phasma, she's aight.
Yeah, she's okay. At the time, passable, but I think in today's world, totally unexcusable. The hard shell cape, not great. Obviously, she's not very reflective either. It's just like kind of
very dull,
normal, like silver kind of like paint application. So very inaccurate to the character, and the posability is just really not there for this figure. So at the time, it was all right, but today's world, no.
Now time for a horrible figure, Poe Dameron.
Ooh, this is the X-Wing pilot one, correct?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, this one is something special. Who is it? Because it's not Oscar Isaac.
It's not.
I'll tell you that much.
No.
Is it Joe Pesci?
It does have some alternate hands.
Great. That totally makes up for the rest of the figure. Yeah, this one was bad. I actually never owned this one specifically because it was so bad. And this one also notoriously had nightmare-inducing QC issues.
Yes. The face, in particular, was just horrifying.
Oh, you know what X-Wing Pilot Poe really looks like? Benicio del Toro.
Oddly enough, Benicio would go on to be the first photoreal figure in the Black Series, in sequential order at least, with DJ.
There you go.
Now, the Guavian Enforcer is actually kind of cool.
Yeah, posability's bad, but,
Yep.
As of right now in my collection, he hangs out in Jabba's palace, and he looks fine as just like there's a background guy.
There's like a nice wash on him.
Yeah.
See, we're being a little positive because this is still in the days of Hasbro could do some paint.
Yeah. You got 2 blasters with him, too.
Yeah, they could do some paint, they could do some shading, a little wash here and there. Something that is kind of few and far between today. Then the GOAT himself, Constable Zuvio, number 9.
Now, Constable Zuvio is a banger, bro. Certified Black Series banger. My poor guy never even stood a chance. Was not in The Force Awakens. They said he was going to be in the deleted scenes. He was not in the deleted scenes.
That's just what you get.
Straight up deleted this dude out of the movie. But again, background alien, actually has a lot of paint on him.
Yes.
Like,
there's a lot of like dry brushing.
There's like dry brushing. There's regular paint applications because there's like red and greens and silvers. Oddly great figure. One of the prime examples of Hasbro just randomly going all out on an alien.
Yeah.
And Constable Zuvio, again, is a figure that I just have in my Jabba's Palace display. And he just fits in.
Yeah. One of the biggest peg warmers in the history of the line.
That is true.
Poor old Constable Zuvio.
Yeah.
Let's go to wave 3. This was actually the wave with only 2 characters in it, so my bad. But wave 3 is the Resistance Trooper, number 10, the First Order TIE Pilot, number 11, and 4 repacks. We have a repack of Finn, number 1, Rey and BB-8, number 2, Kylo Ren, number 3, and the First Order Stormtrooper. So they basically repacked Wave 1 into Wave 3.
Perfect.
And we have the Resistance Trooper and the First Order TIE Pilot. The Resistance Trooper is probably one of the most boring Black Series figures ever made.
Yep, never owned this one.
I did. I went hard. I used to be a completist on these red and black boxes. Like, after watching Force Awakens, I was just, like, so hyped. Star Wars is back. And I went out and I bought all these now horrible figures. This one does have a variant.
That is true.
The helmet color has a variant. It's either brown or green. And I've heard the green is a little more rare.
Wow, very cool. Which one did you have? Do you remember?
Probably the more common one.
Yep. Never picked this one up. Cool idea, but the Resistance Trooper is just a lame design.
They're in like maybe 2 frames of the film too, so...
And it's a lame design. It's no Endor or Hoth Rebel, I'll tell you that much.
Now the First Order TIE Fighter Pilot. I actually kind of dig this figure.
It is neat.
The only reason I sort of dig this figure is my Halo brain rot. So whenever the visor is a different color, I'm like, I'm in.
Yeah, it's got that very, very subtle purple.
Yep.
And it does look nice. I now own your TIE Pilot.
I sold you this figure, and then I actually rebought this figure for $10 at an antique store because I was like, you know what? It's kind of cool.
It is a kind of cool figure, which when you sold it, I was like, hey, I never got that one, so I'll take it. That's funny.
And like we said, a repack of Wave 1 is just in this wave.
Yeah, wonderful.
We really want to hit that home because a big part of these videos and why we kind of find this important is just to paint a picture of how terrible the line used to be. Because we do not get that level of repacks in mainline. Again, these aren't like exclusives. These are mainline waves, and they're repacking mainline waves into other mainline waves.
Right.
We do not see that. We get like 1 or 2 here and there, like Bo-Katan was repacked into another mainline wave, but we don't get anything on this level.
Jumping into Wave 4, Justin, we have 3 figures in this wave.
Hey.
But don't worry, we still got plenty of repacks as well.
Okay.
So this wave consisted of the First Order Snowtrooper, General Hux, and X-Wing Pilot Asti. Also included repacks of Rey and BB-8, now including her lightsaber,
Wow.
Kylo Ren, and the First Order TIE Pilot. Remember when this wave randomly haunted Kmart for a long time?
Yep.
Like specifically our local Kmarts?
Because we were looking for General Hux. We never got General Hux, and we were trying to find him. But I found X-Wing Pilot Asti at Kmart. I picked him up. That's another figure I sold you.
Yep, still have him. I like Asti just as a random alien.
Yeah, Asti's kind of cool. because Hasbro always kills it with aliens and alien sculpts, so the head sculpt looks pretty good.
And the body's a different sculpt, too. A lot of people think it's reuse of Poe Dameron, and it's actually not.
I did not know that, actually.
Yeah.
I just assumed it'd be Poe reuse.
Yeah, at least the torso. The torso is totally different, so...
The First Order Snowtrooper is another one that's actually kind of cool. Am I, like, overpraising things in the red and black box?
I think when it comes to a lot of the First Order trooper designs in general... I think they look cool generally, but a lot of the problem comes from the actual figure itself. Like, the First Order Snowtrooper looks cool. Mm-hmm. It's a nice looking figure. Try and get any sort of pose out of it. Now you've found all the problems with this figure. They're so stiff.
Right, yeah, and everything is like hard plastic, so the legs can't really move. Their ability to at least like hold it like this is actually pretty... like ingenuitive for red and black box, early red and black box Black Series. A lot better than the Stormtrooper, the First Order Stormtrooper.
Right.
There is also a variant with the packaging on this one with the location of the blaster. You'll see if you watch these retrospectives, there's a lot of variants in the red and black box. It's kind of odd.
But it's just like random stuff.
Like blaster placement. Like General Hux also has a variant where the placement of the blaster is different from package to package. I don't get it.
Yeah, sometimes in red and black box, like they used to have the figures hold the blaster in the package. And then sometimes it would be packaged like it normally is now, where it's just next to the figure. Really weird stuff. But yeah, General Hux, again, we never got that one. Was really hard to find around us. I've seen some people comment recently saying that it was really easy to find, but
probably just a location by location.
Yeah, around basis. Us, totally difficult to find. X-Wing Pilot Atsy, awesome.
Yeah, and out of these repacks, we do want to mention, like you mentioned earlier, Rey, now coming with her lightsaber. So that's a variant that adds a bit of value to the figure. She already comes with a droid and her staff, but they just randomly made a variant of this figure. The numbering is still the same on the box, so it's not like a different figure or anything, but they just started including the lightsaber in Wave 4. Again, one of those variants that kind of blows my mind looking back.
Yeah, most likely to avoid spoilers, or... probably in Hasbro's case, they generally didn't know that she was going to wield a lightsaber at some point. But for whatever reason, Rey randomly is basically a deluxe figure by today's standards.
Like 100%, especially with BB-8 being included.
And BB-8's got a wash on him.
Yeah, so... out of these repacks in the wave, the First Order TIE fighter pilot is also kind of a random repack because he was just in the previous wave. And if you look at this photo here of all three waves that we're talking about today, just look at the repacks. Again, repacks. Like, what were they thinking doing this?
Yeah, it's really strange because at the time, like you mentioned earlier, we were collecting... most of these figures, especially the ones that were getting constantly repacked, already super easy to find. Like we mentioned, General Hux was really the only figure that we typically didn't see on shelves. But everyone else, super easy to find. You could pop into a store any day of the week and pick up any of these on the shelf.
Yeah. So a little bit of a fun fact with these case assortments, which, by the way, kind of hard to find.
Yeah.
These case assortments, I kind of had to do some digging with like these old web pages. And if you think about it, these are, almost 10-year-old web pages. Websites take it down or delete them or whatever. So it was kind of difficult. Actually, shout out to the Discord for helping me with the last case assortment that I needed that I couldn't find. Entertainment Earth still had their Wave 4 listing still up. So thank you, Discord, for that. Join that Discord, by the way. But a fun fact about these case assortments is that out of only 4 waves, Red and Black Box Wave 1, 2, 3, and 4, Rey, Finn, Kylo Ren, and the First Order Stormtrooper are in 3 out of 4 waves.
Ridiculous.
Just with the different case assortments and the different repacks. That is insane to me.
Yeah, really makes a lot of sense as to why we had so many problems with all of these figures clogging the pegs for years. And of course, we'll see it get even worse when we get into the Rogue One figures.
Oh yeah, not looking forward to that. There's a little bit of light in the next wave here. We got our first non-sequel trilogy figure in Wave 5 of Red and Black Box, but that'll be for another time. Let's talk about value a little bit. These figures, except for one, are pretty much worthless. These, every single one goes for under retail, except for X-Wing pilot Asti, who has an average of $24.80. That's via actionfigure411.com. Shout out to them. But like I said, the rest average for well under retail. Dollars.
Yep. It's kind of hard to even give them away these days.
It really is. It was hard to sell because I went through a phase of selling a lot of my sequel trilogy. It was pretty tough out there. However, this does conclude Mainline 2015. So next retrospective, we are actually going to be going over the exclusives of 2015. Because this is when the exclusive problem of the Black Series really skyrocketed.
Yep.
2015, 2016, all the way to like modern times, really.
Right.
The exclusive problem is here, and that'll be our next installment of the retrospective video series.
So for now, that's all we have for you. We hope you enjoyed this episode of the retrospective. If you did, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe if you are new. We're always talking about Star Wars The Black Series here on the channel. And if you are in a position to help support the channel directly, we do also offer a couple different channel membership tiers. Definitely check those out in the description down below. And if you can't, no worries there. Simply watching and liking is more than enough for us. But we do got to give a big shout out and a special thank you to all of our current channel members, though your continued support is truly appreciated. And thank you to everyone else out there for watching. I'm Nate, joined with Justin.
See you guys later.
And we will see you all next time on Out of the Basement.